turned on, and we've been doing this since we introduced digital scanning back in 2002, if it is turned on, the ballot will not be scanned twice. So even if there was something causing a jam inside, they didn't know if that ballot was scanned, the best way to do it, to test if it was actually counted or not, is to put it back through and it'll say, a ballot with this unique identifier has already been scanned.
Why wouldn't you have it turned on? I'm not sure. Why wouldn't, like you said, if it was turned on, like why would someone not turn it on?
There are certain states, California's one that I know off the top of my head, that they have election laws that say you cannot have anything that makes a ballot unique, because there's fear that it could be tied to the voter. So in our previous legacy system, the ballots were serial numbered. So we had, and you can make it where it's a human readable unique identifier, or that it's just hidden and in the barcode. When it was serial numbering, it was posited that you could, if someone was proactively saying, Lawrence got ballot 1, Sean got ballot 2, so forth and so on, you could do that. But now with unique identifiers being just a random string of alphanumeric characters that we can turn off and make non-human readable, it's nearly impossible to do that. But that fear still exists out there for some people, and some states have just said you cannot have unique identifiers. So it's an option that you can turn off.
Does this allow you the ability to do like single ballot auditing then as well, like on the back end?
It does.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do risk limiting audits, all types of post-election audits, tracking the cast vote record from our tabulation system directly to the physical piece.
So one of the issues Chantil before was, when you send your print files to your printer, let's just say you had 100 ballot styles, you would just then send them 100 PDFs, right?
Right.
When you do a unique identifier, you're creating a unique PDF for each ballot, okay? So now you're sending 100 times however many ballots you need in that precinct. So before, that would cause, especially before digital printing, it would take kind of a long time to set up all those different ballots. Now, with digital printing and PDFs being transferred so easily back and forth, it's not an issue. But that is what may have kept people from using unique identifiers before, was kind of the printing process of how you're printing a unique ballot over time. Does that make sense?
Hamilton County uses the unique identifier?
They do, definitely.
And we would recommend it. It's a way that you can ensure that no ballots are being scanned twice. It even helps you on the back end for your absentee ballots through your high-speed scanner. In case something happened, a miscommunication, and a batch of ballots was brought in twice or something like that, it's immediately recognizable.
So, when we hear risk limiting audit here, like we do a version of risk limiting audit, but we do it with like batches and things like, just, to you guys, like single ballot risk limiting audit is way different, way less sheets of paper, it's just way cooler.
We'll talk about this in the afternoon,
Okay.
but our auditing dashboard in our tabulation software lets you filter down to a crazy amount of detail the specific subsets of ballots that you want to get the CVR IDs for, and then trace that back to the piece of paper. So it could be a huge subset of ballots, or it could be down to like, I want to get just the ballots that were scanned on this device, and that's it, So.
What does this say if 2 ballots go through there?
One right on top of one another.
Mhm.
It's going to see the unique identifier from one and a different unique identifier from the other, and be able to tell that it's 2 ballots, and it just says more than one ballot has been inserted. And it also has some multi-feed detection built in too, so it's kind of coming at it from 2 angles. It's using the unique identifier and the multi-feed detection that's built into the scanner. But I would say try it.
If there is a misfeed in that unit or a jam, how do you access that paper path from the beginning to it dropping in?
So one of the things that it does is the system, when it detects that the ballot can't drop in, it's going to reverse the rollers and try and send that ballot out. If it's jammed, still stuck inside, there is a half panel door on the back that uses the same key and seal, and you can get into the ballot box that way.
So you don't never have to actually open or access that portion of the unit for any reason?
Correct. You shouldn't. Yeah, it can be locked and sealed and stay locked and sealed all day long. Now, having said that, I'm going to break the rules and open this up just to show you. The only way that I know how to make a jam is to physically put my hand up under here and keep the ballot from going through. But I want you to see this this error message. Oh. Well, that was because it was blank, so they didn't even try to drive it. Somebody have a,
Voted ballot.
so same thing again. Obviously, this is never gonna happen in a polling place, but I'm doing it just to make the point. Oh, and you did an overvote.
Oh, I deliberately
So,
tried.
I'll cast ballot as is. We'll get there eventually. It says very clearly, I don't know if you can see it, your ballot was counted, but it's trying to reverse and send that ballot back out. Of course, as soon as the jam is cleared, it's ready to go for the next one. But it's a very clear, plain language message for that voter that their ballot has been counted. And I messed up the ballot. But yeah, like I said, all of those things, like the paper specifications, no physical diverter, and the small path that the paper goes through, really, it makes it hard for us to, we just don't see a lot of paper jams. There's gotta be something physically destructive.
Like a PowerPoint?
But one of the nice things, I mean, this may be good or bad, but we did have, our previous system did have just a big tub on wheels, and we noticed that deliveries, you would put items that you needed to polling place in that for delivery, and then if the poll workers don't take those out, you're obstructing the paper path sometimes. Well, now with the collapsible box, it's not really a storage vehicle, which could be a con, but it's also gonna mean you won't inadvertently leave things inside that could cause paper. Will left anything out once? Oh,
What happens if you try and scan a ballot with the stub still attached?
It will,
What was your
it will
question?
return that voter because, or that ballot because it's a longer sheet than it's expected. Yeah, it expects, because it knows when you've said, basically this election is an 8.5 by 11 or 8.5 by 14, it's expecting that size paper. So when it gets more, it's gonna return the ballot. Did everybody hear that question? It was if you put the ballot with the stubs. I think we're at a point where we can do some hands-on.
Yeah, definitely.
So we invite you to come up and use the accessible device, vote your ballots, fold them up, crinkle them. Don't be too mean, but.
So just so you know, we do not have unique identifiers turned on. Okay.
That's a good point. We talked so that we can.
I did several.
And also, I think
Hi, Henry.
So yeah.
Hi there, how are you?
president.
Right now, you got.
Correct. Definitely.
We did before. It's been there. I don't know if it matters.
So you did arresting mark there. This is a vote for two. And- oh, yes, yes. That's the vote. So basically, it needs, there's 300 pixels inside this box. 25 connected pixels are filled in. Okay, so that's 25 pixels. Like we said, our next release, we might kick that back and say that you meet the next check and so. So, you have the two pieces of paper, okay, so, yeah. So, we don't have, we don't have, demonstration, we do not have.
You need to do the same thing we do.
Unique identifiers. So normally you would have those turned on.
I knew when it finished. They're about the same thing. Because they basically got the.
If you don't have that turned on,
They also may do this, maybe
that's
this
an
is okay
identical
with that.
balance.
This is just a demonstration. You're eight. No.